All right, and we're go.
Okay, so we can just read in alphabetical order.
Okay, is that me first then?
Yeah.
I surrender ordinary things. I recognize and accept my desire to add the intelligence, experience, knowledge, and spirituality of my mastermind partners, my own mind power, to provide amazing ideas and affirmative language to assist me in generating new results now.
I open my mind to receive all possibilities. I dissolve in my mind and in the minds of all others any idea that my own can be withheld from me. No person, thing, or event can keep me from that which the creative mechanism of our collective minds, the mastermind, can conceive of it for me now. Melody?
Where do I find this again?
Okay.
It on Slack?
Yes, it's under the Zoom channel.
The Zoom. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just found it right as I was asking. Okay. I give up all that has offended me within and without. I give up all offensive things, past, present, and future. I release positivity. I release positively everyone. I am free and they are free too. All things are cleared up between us now and forever.
I understand that when two or more minds come together in the spirit of harmony, peace, and goodwill, increased mind energy is available and will be intentionally created through this alliance to bring about greater effectiveness, energy, and good to all.
I'm sorry. I thought Wendy was back on. I asked that, and I guess we just start at the beginning. Okay. So I guess my ask for today is that, where do I start? I just need, again, I think I mentioned this last week, but more focus on my business. I've been kind of going back and forth between housework and my outside job, and so just to be able to include my business at a reasonable rate is what I would ask for. I guess that could be easily put with business balance. That's what I wanted to do more of this week. So next would be Deanna.
Okay, so basically in the last couple of weeks, I haven't done anything with my MLM except build my list. I haven't made one phone call. And for me, it's because I'm being really pulled by my art and creating through those avenues. And I've also been doing a lot of studying on online marketing and things, plus doing the guide calls with Mark. And so right now, I guess what I've made important for myself is just getting my spaces intact. You know, redoing my studio, getting that all in place, clearing out all the clutter. I need to declutter and do that. It's summer now, but I'm doing that spring cleaning because I see how having clutter that has clogged up my gears. I mean, I feel like it keeps me from moving forward. And so when I declutter, I just feel that freedom and lift of all the energies off of me. And so right now my goal is to declutter and purge all of those things that no longer serve me. That's relationships, junk that's been kept around this house from either myself or my kids or whatever. And I just want to have my energy field wide open and clear.
That's beautiful. I ask for just a clear, I feel like what you're describing as far as decluttering in your life, I feel like I've been needing that in my mind. And I see that just like there are seasons of our life, the same can be true for like seasons of our mind and where our thought processes tend to go and different things like that. And so I'm just really glad to be here today. And I ask that my mind would just continue to dwell on things that uplift and bring me higher.
I, first of all, thank you all. Your influence, your energy has truly been felt in my life. And I ask that my continued direction and positive work continue to compound on it so that it continues to grow and reaches the greater good for people. So thank you. And that my actions meet my mind and my body so that I have that balance.
And Wendy, I think you're the last one to voice your ask.
There we go. Apologize for all the technical difficulties I'm having this morning. My apologies. Yeah, I got to stay focused on two things, my business and my health. My health has kind of taken a slide, and not with cancer or anything, just not feeling well, and my stamina, and I got to get that back up because after putting in a lot of work over the last 2 weeks, I'm exhausted, and I gotta make health a priority. So I guess I ask for continued thoughts that I am healthy and staying on track with getting my endurance back.
Awesome, Wendy. We will definitely do that. Okay. I now make known my specific request, which we just did. We are asking our partner's support, knowing that the accumulated mastermind consciousness of this group will lift our thinking to greater problem solving and solution ideas and language. We all voiced our request. And so number 6, Deanna, I have you. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I give great appreciation to the collective creative mechanism of this mastermind, as it is responding to my desires. And I recognize that having the same feelings right now, I experience these requests as completely actualized.
Service to those around me, to be a living example of what humanity can be, and to practice harmlessness, generating peace, love, harmony, and goodwill in my life now. Thank you for unmuting me.
Yeah.
So one thing, Melody, I wanted to touch on, since you are feeling the need to also declutter, is I've recognized on a spiritual level that when we're feeling that, to look at your environment and see what needs to be purged, because when you clear your environmental energies, you also clear your mental energies. And it helps to bring a lot of clarity and focus to what you really want, you know?
Yeah, I really appreciate that insight. I think there's a lot of wisdom to it.
It's always a signal for me to really take a look at what's going on around me.
Yeah.
And within me.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to in that vein, for the two of you, I've listened to a recording called From Chaos to Order. And he suggested that much like our habit compound, we can create a compounding effect in our physical world, so that even if you've got just a moment and you open your silverware drawer and you just stack the forks and make the forks ordered, it will draw more order and decluttering to you, because you take those 10 seconds to create order. So those little things matter, I guess, is what.
Have you ever heard of Fly Lady?
Mm-mm.
It stands for Finally Loving Yourself. And so she gives daily little tips on how to declutter your environment, and just like giving it 15 minutes a day. And she has like certain days you declutter certain areas, and she has what she calls hot spots. You know, work on your hot spot for 15 minutes. And it really, really helps. Reading her stuff, I got onto her years ago, but just the way she has her decluttering philosophy organized, it's really cool, because you can do it in little snatches every day, and so it doesn't feel like you have this overwhelming task to do it all right now.
Yeah. Have you heard of the book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up?
Mm-mm.
That book I read, and it is exceptional. I need to read it again, and I did start applying some of what I read from that, and I really found it working. And what I haven't been able to do it fully, like for my whole house or apartment yet. I've noticed it even in my own life, like what I'm bringing in. I take a lot more thought into that. And the concept behind it is that it's hard to truly organize unless you purge, which I think that sounds like what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Purging is the first step to organizing, because if you're always just moving your stuff around, it's going to just continue to be a problem. But if you purge first and then organize, there's actually a greater likelihood that there will be a spot for everything.
Yes.
One of her concepts is like only having what speaks to you and brings you joy and love and just like happiness. Like if something isn't going to make you happy, why do you even bring it into your life? And I've actually found that so beautiful in even shopping. This may be a little off topic, but a lot of my life I've been like a good shopping assistant to other people, because I'll like share my opinion. I'm not going to flatter them if I think it doesn't look good. I'm honest. Anyways, I felt like I've needed me for myself in a different person. Like I need someone else to just tell me, no, don't get that. Like it won't bother me. And so I'm like always like looking for that outward individual to like do what I've done for other people. And like, for example, my husband or friends or whatever. And since I've read that book in the last 6 months, I've found that I can go shopping without needing someone else or wondering, or sending a picture. Do you like this? Because I'm like, it doesn't matter what they think. I just need to like it. So, yeah.
That's really awesome that you've empowered yourself that way.
It is. It is really, really awesome. But I will say I do appreciate that intention you gave for me, because I think there's a lot of connections to that and just needs a clear mind. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing all that.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Wendy.
It just, this whole conversation rings true for me also. So I don't know what's up with the energy between all of us, but I'm really identifying with everything that you're saying. And a thought that passed through my mind, Melody, as you were speaking, is that I find myself the happiest when I'm traveling and living out of my suitcase. And I realized, after coming back from the MKE Live, I realized that the burden of all the extra stuff, the knickknacks, the double, triple, whatever it is that I felt I needed more of, and just all the little trinkets and extra things, really stresses me out. And that freedom, when I'm going through my stuff, that freedom that I remember living out of my suitcase when I travel, is a really good reminder for me that I just don't need all the extra stuff that I think I need. So I don't know if maybe just think about that when you're going through some of your stuff, or when you're at the store looking at something, contemplating buying it. It's just it's been helpful for me.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I also was thinking of something in regards to what you shared with health.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I haven't been on the last, I think, couple times, my recent intention has been to focus on health for myself. And I just wish you the empowerment of mind and body to achieve that and really feel energized, and that healing has come to your body, and I've been experiencing that in just a really, really beautiful way. So I know that you are capable of having that as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So I want to tell you guys about a book that I started of the screen here to look up the name. So can you guys still hear me? Oops.
We could still hear you. It looks like you're frozen now.
Oh, okay. It's by Neville Goddard. The last name is spelled Goddard. And the name of the book is called Your Faith is Your Fortune. And I listen to my books on Audible. I rarely sit down and just read, but this book will take your undivided attention. It's not something that you can just listen to while you're multitasking doing something else, because it's really deep content. But the recurring message is just so profound, is in the words I am. And just remembering that everything that we put an I am to, whether it's a thought or a statement or a belief or whatever, holds true. So I caught myself for a while saying to myself and saying to my husband, I'm just so tired, or I just can't get through the day without having to take a nap, and I don't have the endurance, and all that negative stuff. And so when I started listening to this book and realizing the power of the two words I am in front of whatever it is that we're thinking or saying, watch out, because then it's true. So I've been working on changing that statement in my mind regarding my health, And I share it with you to also use it in terms of stuff and purging and releasing the excess and releasing the stuff that no longer serves, and maybe some statements with I am in front of it might be empowering to recite to yourself or just speak out loud as you're purging your stuff.
Yeah, I love that, Wendy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I am wholly in agreement with Wendy.
A good release that I like to use is I pronounce you good and I release you in love. No matter what it is, you know, just clear that stuff out. And thank you for that reminder, Wendy. It's really, really powerful, the I am. So I just want to encourage you to read your statement from the MKE. I am perfect, whole, complete, strong, loving, harmonious, and happy.
Go ahead, Wendy.
Oh, there you go. So I just wanted to share with you guys something funny. Just I felt a little lull in the conversation there for a second. Yesterday I had a really unique experience. Not really unique for me because it's the first time I've had this experience now, but we had kind of weird weather in my city yesterday. And I mean from hot, humid to cold to severe storms going through. It's just a weird day weather-wise. And I was pulling into my driveway, and just the second that I pulled into my driveway, I saw a bolt of lightning come down and hit the transformer, which is just like feet away from our garage. And the transformer blew and smoke started happening, and my hair, like I could feel my hair standing up and I could feel the energy of it. And what a cool experience. And here's where I'm going with this conversation is that I have had that experience with lightning 3 other times now. And I got to talking with my daughters about this last night, and it's like, not that I want to create a complex or anything, but the last couple of days I've been feeling extremely emotional about things. And I mean really strong emotions that a lot of them weren't serving, you know, like anger and just disillusionment with where I'm at and what I'm doing in my life. And I'm not saying that I attracted the lightning hit so close to where I was, but it just really brought forefront in front of me, like, wow, you know, I was feeling that emotion so strong yesterday in my thoughts, and fear was one of them, anger, discouragement, and this happens. So I would like to believe I didn't attract it, but I also know that everything is in our awareness for a reason, right? And it was just kind of a really cool reminder that those emotions that were so negative for me yesterday, I've got to wash that out of my system and let that go the minute that I start feeling them. Because man, if it attracts something like a lightning strike, like 20 feet from me in my car, I don't want that, right? But I just share that with you guys just because it woke up my consciousness, like, okay, I got to snap out of it.
Wendy, I think I'm on a similar page with you there. You're right. We're kind of all on the same page, it sounds like today. But when you were talking, the bear hug kettle concept just came to mind.
Yeah.
That's been something that, for some reason, it's really easy for me to forget about it. But when I do, and I don't know if it's because of all of the practice and routine that we did through MKM.
You're frozen, Brittany.
Oh, I'm frozen. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Brittany.
Oh, okay. Oh, Deanna, I think we might have you frozen. Hopefully she'll rejoin us soon. But let's see. Oh, when I am able to use it and remember it, it seems to come really easy and just be that visual in my mind of, what am I doing? Holding on to all of these really toxic emotions and responses. And I don't know, I have found recently that when I'm able to bring that to mind, which again, it's easy to forget it, but it's a lot simpler for me to just be like, I'm hurting myself more than I'm being productive by any means, and let it go. But yeah, I'm so glad to hear that you found victory over that and to hold that.
Yeah, and thank you for the bear hugs kettle. I completely had forgotten that analogy, so that's a good reminder. Thank you.
Yeah.
And look at the space that was energetically cleaned, because lightning, it burns. It's a mass cleaning of that energy right there. And so if you're gonna dual thought this, take it as a positive. It doesn't have to signify all the negative. It's the transition into clean and ready to go forward. So celebrate the good.
I like that thought, Natalie. That really rings true for my beliefs. Thank you.
It goes right along with the whole decluttering thing of the mind, like Melody mentioned. I did have something unrelated to share, kind of off topic, but I want to make sure that we can address everybody's request too.
I have another just thought on the whole decluttering vein. What if we did a like a week challenge or 2-week challenge or something for those who want to participate in
Why does this keep
decluttering
up on me?
We can hear you, Deanna. Can you hear us okay?
I can. Are your screens constantly freezing, or is it just me?
It's you.
I think it's your end, yeah. Because when you freeze, it to you, you're not frozen, but everybody else is frozen. Wendy was just about to share an idea of hers.
Okay, awesome.
Well, I was just thinking maybe it would be fun for those of us that want to participate in it to maybe have like a 2-week challenge of decluttering. Like let's all put an intention on, okay, today's focus is, or the next couple of days focus is cleaning out your bedroom closet or whatever. I don't know.
I think that's a great idea.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun, and we can just post what we felt we accomplished for that day, just to give us all some encouragement.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
I like it.
And really, check out Fly Lady. It's always good, positive vibes put out there.
Okay.
Is it on Facebook or is it flylady.com?
It might be on Facebook, but it's also flylady.com. And you can sign up for her little daily, she sends you a little thing, on what to work on that day.
Awesome.
She's been around for 15 or 20 years of good.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I know
Wendy, I love what you were saying about just getting rid of all the little trinkets and things. I mean, especially with traveling. I used to travel and I used to like, I need to buy this souvenir. And you know what? I don't do that anymore. I stopped myself from doing that. If anything, I might get myself a refrigerator magnet and that's it. Because I don't want all of that stuff.
I agree. I did get a dancing
it's so
hula girl
beautiful. So,
car,
you know,
though.
I'll look at something and it's like, oh, you're so beautiful, but you know what? I'm not taking you home.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
admire you right here and leave you here.
Take a picture. It takes
well,
up less
that's
space.
Natalie, did you have something you wanted to ask?
I was just going to say that I had
You can hula while you declutter.
there you go. Use those hips. It's all in the knees though. I got my DMP posted into Slack so that you can each see what I am consciously working toward. And I thank you each in advance for supporting me as I become the person I intend to be.
Natalie, I actually read it because I saw you posted it. And it's beautiful.
And you guys can all come see my Ewoks.
What?
You guys are all invited to come see my Ewok as I finish my sanctuary.
Yeah, I love it. And in regards to what we've been sharing about decluttering and whatnot,
I keep freezing up, so I'm getting like snippets of the conversation. I'm going to rewatch the video later, so I hope that things will just be a smooth flow so I can hear what everybody's talking about.
It could be for the recording. What I was thinking is just like we've been talking about decluttering and whatnot, and I love your idea, Wendy, of doing a challenge where we're all kind of working on it at the same time, because that's very motivating to me. But I was thinking of our old blueprint, because my mother has always been like a clutter bug and a hoarder and just afraid to get rid of anything because she might need it. And even just like having a conversation with my dad the other day, he's trying to figure out some other organizational method. And so it's interesting how, like for myself, I've always wanted to be more of a minimalist, but it's easy for that to like be the old blueprint you fall back to when it's what you're used to being surrounded by. And so I really think it's very timely that we're all feeling that this is something we can work on.
I think it's kind of cool that we're collectively decluttering. As a mastermind, you know, not just as friends or whatever, but this is a mastermind. So when, you know, we're working in harmony, you know, with the greater good. And so it would be, it's so divinely timed, you know, everything's perfect divine timing. But I love how that the energy, we're all feeling that energy, you know, and we're all feeling that we collectively have to move it, you know, and shift it, because we all have our goals, you know, to reach higher and to really create some awesome, beautiful things in our lives. And to do that, our channels need to be open, so we can allow the flow to come in.
Go ahead, Wendy. Thanks, Deanna.
I agree with you, Deanna. I think, and I see it in how cool is it that we're all experiencing the same, so the same push in whatever way, you know, whatever strength or whatever way, but it's all the similar kind of feeling. And Melody, I wanted to share something with you. I don't know how old you are, but I'm probably old enough that I could probably be your parent. And I wanted to share with you something that I got from my parents as my old blueprint. My parents grew up in the Big Depression, so the 1930s, right? And it's kind of interesting because my husband's grandfather would always use the coffee grinds 3 or 4 times before he would throw them away. And my dad too, he would save like string, like pieces of string and the little zip ties and just stupid stuff that would fill drawers, you know. but what the mentality was there when I talked to my dad and my grandfather about it is that they never knew if they were going to be able to get their hands on something again once they let it go. You know, being in the Depression, for most of them, it meant that would they have the money, would they have the resources to get what it was that they needed. So it's kind of funny the way it morphed into my generation, because by then it was just a habit of, you know, you just save all the frickin' zip ties from all of the bread loaves, you know. I got a drawer full of, you know, a Ziploc bag full of these zip ties, you know, just stupid stuff. But then it morphed into my head was beyond the blueprint was the memory of stuff. Oh, I've got to hang on to all these pictures that my kids drew when they were in school because of the memory of it. And how dare they might find something in the trash, you know, that was a treasured piece of artwork, or all those trinkets during those years of travel, you know, all those memories and everything. So it's just really interesting to look at it from the viewpoint of how did this blueprint even morph, and it's not even serving me anymore. Matter of fact, it's creating more strength, more stress. Thank you. More stress and more feeling of like not enough time to take care of all this stuff, you know, keep it looking nice, dusting it, organizing it, instead of shoved into the corner and dusty and whatever. So the stress of it is more overwhelming than losing the tangible piece of memory, because hopefully up here I'll remember what I need to remember. Anyways, I'm done.
I actually had her read this book that I read, and it was incredible because I can't even count how many times my dad has like assigned us kids to help my mom with organizing. I think that's one of the reasons why I became a good shopping assistant, because I'm like, why even bring it in? But like, she read this book, and I cannot even begin to tell you how we start with clothes, because in this book they're like, clothes are the most replaceable item. Memories are like what you should save till the end, because they're the hardest to let go. But clothes, you can easily go out and buy a new t-shirt if you really did end up needing it again. And so we actually went through her closet together. We took everything out, and literally you probably couldn't even have walked into it very well when we started. We brought it all out into the living room, laid it all out, and so literally everything was brought back in for it to be kept. So she was having to touch everything, try it on, and I'm like, do you love it? You know, if you don't love it, why do you have it? And I mean, even some of my own like insecurities and identity issues that I've struggled with in my own life, I see coming from my mom. And we had this recent like church gathering here in Michigan for that we've gone to for years, and talking to my mom, she's thinking of not going because she doesn't know what to wear. And I'm like, Mom, we just went through your closet, and like literally it was a transforming thing. And I've even noticed a difference in how she dresses, because she doesn't have the stuff that makes her look crappy in her closet. I'm like, you don't have to worry about what you wear, because don't even go out and buy stuff. Just go to your closet. You love everything that's in there. She's like, thank you for that vote of confidence. And she ended up going, you know, and it's interesting how those things can just like wear us down. But I mean, we would wash Ziploc bags and reuse them. And in talking to her, that is exactly where she was at, is like, you don't know where you're going to get it again, or if you'll have the money to get it again, so save it.
Well, isn't that such a lack mentality too? And I mean, all of us want to release that mentality, right? You know, so that blueprint has like a double whammy with all that.
Yeah.
Thanks, ladies. Natalie, I think you had something to say?
I did. My husband and I did that he was nice enough to say, "Okay, we're pulling all this stuff out and you're going to try it on, and I'm going to tell you how I see you in this." And what he likes and what I felt comfortable in really do match up. And he had, I mean, if your significant other doesn't have your best interest at heart, or one of your children, I mean, I could trust that I did, it was something positive going forward. And for me, and Brittany knows this, I've done this to her for 6+ months, key in and hold on, enthusiastically celebrate these little tiny things, because that is what your subconscious, and that is what the energy is going to be attracted to. If your fear and your distrust and your angst is bigger than your love and your celebration and your draw to the building of the new and the good, you're out of balance for not the good. So even if it's just little tiny, and our whole house has been in this transition to cleaner and better, and I think that for me it was, as I have not had the physical help, it has become more important for me to say, oh my gosh, I have got to get a handle on my outside world, as much as as I'm losing my handle on my health. And so I think there are so many pieces of each of these things that we can be a support for each other in. And so thank you all. And I am so excited to move forward in health and in wealth and in clean, crisp, attractive energy that's going to benefit not just us, but the world. So thank you. Go Brittany.
Oh, Natalie, I love your enthusiasm. I just wanted to share something really quick that's somewhat on topic, especially with what Melody was mentioning of like decluttering of the mind. And I noticed it in our, because I guess I'm aware of it, especially today, I noticed letting go, number 3, I think it is. I'm free. All things are cleared up between us now and forever. I release positively everyone. Well, I experienced this week, I've just been so busy that I have been giving myself like little moments of vacation, like Mark J talks about, listening to music, which I never really do in the car because I'm always listening to an audio book or on the phone secretly because it's illegal in Washington. But I was listening to some music, and it was just I felt like my feel-good comfort music that, brought really sentimental, and I was really excited to listen to it. And what I discovered was, and it might just be me because I love music and I'm a very sensitive person, but I really was like drawn into the places that I was at when I listened to that music a lot from my past. And it brought back like all of these different pieces of my old blueprint that I haven't had to deal with for a long time, that I felt like I was over and I had worked through. And it was really interesting to be the observer, I guess, in that situation. And I have really had to work hard to now like get around that. I can. Like, we know how, of course, now, which is amazing. But I was just, I guess, alarmed or just really surprised to how quickly, just listening to one song and like enjoying it, I thought it just brought me so down, and I was just really solemn, and I had such a hard time finding energy. And so I just thought it was somewhat relevant in the way of keeping your mind and body clear in that space, even maybe like departing from or letting go of those types of sentimental things that might not be healthy, like that might not bring you joy when you think about it, in that respect. So just my thoughts. And we have 5 more minutes. Anybody else has?
Go ahead, Deanna.
Okay, I'm raising my hand, but I'm not sure if you're seeing it. Now, I really love that you brought that up, Brittany, because I think it just puts a whole seal on everything we've been talking about today. Because I too last week had old residual blueprint energy come up, and it was like it blindsided me. But being the observer, I really got clear on what it was, because I always say what needs to be healed will be revealed. And we're doing this massive purging. We're just, I mean, we're in it. We're talking about it today. This is what's coming up for all of us. And so I really want to honor you for observing. And I hope that you've gained a lot of clarity from, you know, just being pulled back into that, because I know I have. And I meditated so much last week. I was almost like constantly meditating. And what came to me is just based on my upbringing, I had this wedge of this fear of abandonment that suddenly just came like, whoof, it just flew in my face. And I was just like, oh my gosh, wow, that's it. That is like the block of blocks that is keeping me from doing everything that I need to do to push forward. And so that was what I was working on this last week, was, you know, taking a look at that and just telling my inner child, you know what? You're never abandoned. That's just a false perception that someone gave you a long time ago, and it carried and followed you all through life because it was so strong, you know, that you just held on to it. And that does not serve me in any way, shape, or form. And so along with everything else, that idea is being purged. And being blue, and on the limitation side, it says, you know, the one thing you don't want to ever do to a blue is abandon them. And so I also got clarity on that, you know what, I have this core value here, and that whole thing has played into me my whole life, you know, because I literally was abandoned. And, but just how it overtook my life up to this point, you know, I'm in my 50s, and suddenly it just like, whew, I got clarity on it. So I don't want to take up all the time, but that just really excited me, because it is so important for us to be the observer and purge that stuff out of our lives, because it will wreak havoc on every level if we allow it to stay. Because I know that's what it's done for me. And I know we all deserve to be opulently healthy, filled with joy, prosperous in every area of our lives, and thriving, not just surviving.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Deanna. Melody, did you have something to share?
And I feel like you took a lot of the words right out of my mouth. But I have to say, Brittany, there was a reason why you shared what you did, and it completely resonated with me and the intention that I asked for at the beginning. And I feel like that was really hitting the nail on the head for me. And then with what you had brought up, Deanna, about organizing and decluttering, that I believe provides a solution and a challenge and a good push to be challenged to do something that will allow us all to become a better version of ourselves and let that baggage kind of go. So thank you, everyone. This has been such a blessing today.
I agree. Wonderful.
You all are so powerful. You just jazz me up. You know, I just love being with you every time we meet. And Melody, I'm so glad that you were able to get back on and be here with us too. And I love all of you. You are just powerful, powerful creators.
I second that statement.
I third it, I guess. I'm very grateful for the time, and I know Armel and Kendra were really missed. It will be great to have us all hopefully together next.
Absolutely.
Which I know, Wendy, I just want
Yes.
to thank you for the calendar and putting.
Oh, good. You're welcome.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't have it in front of me. If you wanted to just mention that, so it's present on our minds.
So our next scheduled date is July 4th.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So do we want to keep that?
Is that going to work for everyone? I know, Brittany, you have a young family.
Oh, sorry, Melanie. I think it will be fine since it's so early.
Yeah.
So it will be good for me, but I'm open to rescheduling too if it interferes with somebody.
I may join by phone. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do that day, but I know we're going camping that weekend, and I don't know if we're coming back on the 3rd or the 4th or where we'll be or if we'll have service. I'm not really coordinating it, so I think we should keep it. And if for some reason I can't be on, I'll listen to the recording.
Sounds great. Okay, well, we're about at the end of our time, so I would love everybody to unmute and just give a woohoo!
Woohoo!
Got this, girls. Challenge is on.
Clear, connected.
What's that, Natalie?
Said we are all clean and clear and connected.
Thank you, Natalie. All right, well, I'll see you all on the 4th.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.